Oh my gosh, I have 25 minutes. Anyway, sorry. Um, okay, something that I really want to say. And actually, I'm in the process of getting I'm not actually going over to my sister's till midday today, or about midday. So I'm actually in the process of getting presents and things together, such as they are. I'm one person. Um, Point being that, okay, no offense, everybody always talks about presents as though, well, they don't talk about presents, but people always expect presents to be perfect. Now, what is perfect? I mean, it could also just be your definition of perfect, too, right? Right. So, in my opinion, there is perfection in imperfection. Like, for instance, I have a desk. I have a desk that I got actually off the side of the road. One. Um, that I think is really cool. Somebody was throwing it away. I think it's great. That also goes into, well, I'm not giving the desk as a present to anybody. It's mine. I want to use it. Um, but with that being said, um, I also got this other thing from somebody, um, that I'm gonna give as a Christmas present, and it's this old copper something or another. I don't even know what it is. It's like something maybe you put on top of a house. I don't know exactly. Also, I'm noticing how much I need to get a haircut, and it doesn't matter really, but I was just like, yikes. Anyway, back to the subject of presents. Um, Honestly, everyone's all like, oh my gosh, things have to be perfect. I'm kind of like, no offense. I mean, no, you don't want things to be like completely like weird and Joakali and what the heck, right? You don't want somebody to like throw something in together with like pieces of cardboard. No. But what about the idea of people trying their best with what they have and you accepting it for what it is? Okay, yeah, it might not be as nice as maybe you think it should be or whatever. You know, I don't really care. I mean, it's not even that I don't care, but it's like, no offense, people. Sometimes people really are trying their best, and it may not necessarily be your best. Maybe you could do it better or whatever. But you know, sometimes people's level of quote unquote best are different levels. Sometimes they're different. And in Bobby's opinion, it's fine. I I can also appreciate different levels of best, such as that means. I really can. I mean, I like to think that I can. I don't know. Maybe I can't. But even so, like, you know, I also feel like people get on each other's um not really get on each other's nerves, but whatever that turn of phrase is I'm looking for. And apparently not able to find. Um like right off the rip. Um Apparently people get on each other's like for lack of a better term, asses about oh my gosh, your present isn't nice enough. I mean, I that hasn't actually happened to me yet. Even if it did, I don't care. But I've seen it in the past, like years ago even. And no offense, people, but like, come on. You're better than that. You're better than to like think that a person's present I'm also looking for something and I apparently can't find it. Great. Um, anyway, I think that people need to lighten up with their expectation of. I'm not saying that everyone is all like, oh my gosh, things have to be perfect. But what is perfect? Like, what is the idea of perfect? My idea of perfect is when I'm happy. Well, because sometimes happiness, you're like, is it gonna come back around and bite me in the ass? Maybe. Maybe it will. It's like whenever I felt as though things were okay, it was like epilepsy was like, no, things are not okay, Bobby. Don't mess with yourself. Don't kid yourself. It's wonderful. I love it. I hate it. I really do. I really do hate it though. Oh my gosh. Anyway, not to talk about like how things can go wrong, but even though they can, honestly, it's like it's Christmas time, it's blah 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 blah, right? Everything should be happy, this and that and whatever. But then things go wrong. And you're like, huh, okay. Well, okay. So, now this is my train of thought. When things go wrong, it's like, well, okay, huh. What are we gonna do now? Now, do you hear the calm and the just silence of trying to figure out what to do? I mean, people, I'm not saying this about everyone because this is just me. What I've seen. People will like freak out. And or it's like something it's like a pie that you're making or a dessert you're making goes wrong. And it's like, huh. Okay. Well, that didn't work out. No, on the real though, you better make sure that like stores are open. Well, not like Christmas Day type store being open, but you always gotta have a backup. Because when things go wrong, then what are you gonna do? Also, the subject has really changed over the course of this video. I don't really know why. Oh yeah, I do know why. This guy right here in the frame, Bobby. He likes to get distracted. It's really annoying. I don't like to get distracted, but I do get distracted. And it can be so frustrating. Also, speaking of being distracted. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I mean, obviously, you guys know one thing that I'm doing, which is great. Hang on. Sorry, I gotta think for a second. So there's 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this and that and whatnot. Hoo-ha. What? Sorry. No? No. Back to presents. So, honestly, I really like old things. Like some beat up old tool or hammer or pair of pliers or whatever. I love that kind of thing. Now, people I don't want to say people as a whole, but stereotypically, people will look at that old, rusted out, beat up thing that I love as a piece of crap. And it's like, why do you want that? It's trash. And Bobby thinks to himself, no, it's not. It's beautiful. I love it. I mean, it's kind of weird because it's on my kitchen table. But even this box, like, you can't really see very well, but it's beat up. But do you see? I love it. I mean, the problem is, what I was going to use it for this morning, it doesn't fit. So, that's annoying. That's really annoying. It's actually not that annoying. Like, it's a problem that I can't control. So it's like, well, okay, whatever. I'll go find another box, maybe. Or I'll make my own to fit what I'm trying to put in a box. Right. So, it's like, honestly, everyone is always like back to what I was saying originally, like, things always have to be like new and this and that and whatever at Christmas. For Bobby, he likes old stuff. Like, think of any random piece of crap you see at like a junkyard or the dump, or, well, maybe not the dump, you know. I've been to the dump actually relatively recently, and the dump smells really bad. It's really nasty. So I would not recommend getting things from like the dump. But say like a scrapyard. There are so many cool things in a scrapyard. So many. It's crazy. I saw the other night, or the other day, somebody like dumped like 2 perfectly usable wheelbarrows at the dump, as though it's trash. Those wheelbarrows, man, if I could take stuff from the dump, and I haven't figured out how to. I mean, obviously just put it in your truck and drive away. But that would be stealing, technically. And I might get fined. So I don't want that. Also, my shoes are falling apart. That like really got me. I mean, not entirely, but kind of. You know, well, one of them is dead ass entirely falling apart. It's not bad, but at least the first, like, basically up until like the middle of my shoe, it's basically like a mouth, like, right? Anyway, back to the dump though. There's so many cool things in the dump. Wait, like, crazy too many things. I mean, even like whole cars. I don't want to buy a whole car because that's a lot of money. But there's so much cool crap. And back to my original subject is that there's so much cool crap in, man, I don't like those cabinets. Sorry. There's so much cool crap in, or there's so much cool stuff that is like old and beat up, and I really don't like the fact that those cabinets are in the frame. So I just shifted my shoulder. There's so much cool crap that's like old and sometimes beat up and not necessarily broken stuff. I don't like broken stuff because that involves fixing it. And do I know how to fix it? Maybe. Maybe not, though. But I love old stuff. And sometimes I feel like people need to appreciate the old stuff. Because new stuff is so expensive. Whereas old stuff sometimes is actually much cheaper. Because people think it's trash. Sometimes stuff is not trash, though. Like, I got a chain come along the other day. I think for like $50. I think. And it's like, I don't actually know what the rating is, but I think it's like 1.5 or 2 ton chain come along. That thing is crazy. You can move a lot of stuff. Well, maybe not a lot of stuff, but things that are very heavy anyway. With that, right? And that's awesome because somebody was just selling it for like $75 or whatever I paid for it. And I went and got it. It's old. It's kind of beat up. Whatever. It needs oiling. But I love it because it's cool. It not only is it cool, but I'm going to use it at some point. I may not use it today because today is Christmas and I may or may not be going and doing anything outside. It's also kind of chilly. It was a little bit sunny, but then it was like the sun was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, I guess." Jerk. Um kind of. Anyway. Um but yeah, I don't I understand people wanting to have nice stuff. And I'm not saying that like everybody needs to have like old beat up stuff because everybody's tastes are different. Like not everybody likes Thai food. Not everybody likes spicy food. I love spicy food. I don't really know why. I just do. It's like when you get a really good coffee and you're like, "Oh my gosh. Yes." Right? It's kind of like that with old stuff and me. Also, I look at old stuff and I think about the history of it too. Not just like some beat up old piece of crap. I think about the history of it. Also, the fact that like something like an old toolbox can't tell stories is really sad because if it's something that's like from like 1945, which I actually have an air compressor that's from 1945, maybe. Yes. Um that's a really long time for one thing, but also think about the stories that that thing has. It's crazy. And then think about the new stuff, like stuff that's like brand new. It doesn't have any stories. I mean, kind of hypothetical stories, really, but it doesn't have anything because it's brand new. So, like, what the heck? It's kind of dumb, really. But either way, do you get what I'm saying? I love old stuff. Anyway, point being that I feel like presents to me, it doesn't have to be something new. It doesn't have to be. It can be. It really could be. If you want it to be, that's fine. But sometimes giving somebody a, well, maybe not old beat up piece of crap, you don't want to do that. But sometimes something that's old is really cool. And I guess I have an appreciation for older stuff because I just love it. Because I see history in it. It's not just like some old piece of crap. I guess I see inanimate objects differently than other people. It's kind of interesting. So I don't know. So yeah, I think people. I don't want to say like they like shouldn't get bent out of shape because it's fine to get bent out of shape, just not too out of, just not too bent and not too out of shape. Right. So honestly, I feel like people need to. I don't want to say calm down, but like when I've seen it happen where somebody like opens a present and maybe it's something that's maybe not perfect. And people were like, oh my gosh, Bobby, what the heck? You got them what? And I'm like, I mean, it never happened to me personally, but hypothetically, if it were to happen to me, um, I would be like, what? What are you talking about? This thing is really cool. I'm sorry you don't like it, but guess what? I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's great. And you're telling me how it's some piece of crap. What are you talking about? Also, there's this clock right here. It's ticking. In case you guys are wondering what that noise was, I may have been. I was hyper focusing on that. Um, no, I'm just joking. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Also, I need to figure out a box of some kind to put this one present in that's actually like pretty big, sort of. Um, it's actually copper. I can't tell you what it is, and I'm not gonna show you because that would, I don't know, whatever. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here though. So anyway, wow, this has been going on for 21 minutes. Dang. Okay. Sorry, I'm weird. Bobby's weird. What? No, Bobby isn't completely weird. He's just a little bit of a crackhead who got onto the wrong stuff, but in the best way possible. Um, yeah, I think I gotta go, but who knows? I might pick it up another day.